Hello and welcome to the Lifestyle Freedom. Thank you so much for being here. In this video, we will cover the topic of what is a domain name and how to get a perfect one for your chosen niche. Also, if you would like to learn more about online income opportunities, don't forget to grab a copy of the Digital Real Estate. What is a domain name? A domain name is your website address, which people type in the address bar of the browser, such as Chrome or Firefox, to visit your web page. To put it plainly, just like your house has an address so that your friends, family, or visitors can find you, the domain does the same purpose as your house address, allowing you to be found on the internet. Also, the domain name is part of the URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Next, let's look at some details about computer networks to appreciate the purpose of the domain name. The Internet is a vast computer network linked by multinational cables, cellular, and satellite networks. Each network machine can connect with other computers. Also, each machine has an IP address to identify them. It is a number that identifies a specific device on the Internet. This looks like a set of numbers separated by a period. For instance, the number 172.217.194.105 is how an IP version 4 address would be represented. As you visit more websites using just numbers, it becomes very hard to recall an IP address like that. Imagine that you were to visit your favorite websites like Facebook, Google, YouTube with those numbers. Thus, to overcome this dilemma, domain names have been invented. With DNS, you don't have to type a long string of numbers if you want to visit a website. You should instead visit it by entering an easy-to-recall domain name in the address bar of your browser, just like www.thelifestylefreedom.com. How do domain names work? We'll look at what happens if you type a domain name in your browser, to explain how domain names work. If you type a domain name on your web browser, the browser then sends a message to a global domain name system network, DNS. The servers then communicate among one another to search and find the server which stores the record of the domain name requested by the web browser. For example, if your website is hosted on Namecheap.com, your name servers for basic DNS would be similar to what is shown in the current slide. These name servers are the web host company's operated computers. The hosting server will transmit your browser's query to the computer, which serves the pages of the domain name requested. Such a computer that serves the web pages is called a web server, and it can be configured and installed using unique solutions like Apache, a popular web server software. Once the request arrives at the web server, it subsequently now retrieves the web page as well as the related files, and then sends this to the browser. Who is responsible for the domain name system? The Designated Names and Numbers Internet Organization, ICANN, operates the scheme for domain names. It is a non-profit organization that designs and maintains domain naming policies. ICANN permits businesses called domain name registrars to sell domain names. These domain registrars are entitled to make changes on the customer's behalf to the domain registry. Registrars of domain names like Namecheap.com is permitted by ICANN to sell, maintain, renew, and transfer domain names from other registrars. The registration, renewal, and use of a domain name are the sole responsibility of the domain name owner. The owner is also responsible to provide correct information and updates it quickly to represent any modifications so it can be reflected in directories like Whois. How to choose the best domain name. 5 tips to get your perfect domain. To achieve success, it is important to pick the correct domain name for your website. The right domain name must be chosen from the outset because it is difficult to change later on once you've established your brand and built SEO rankings. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. When it is your first time registering for a domain name, it can be intimidating to create an enticing one. Hence, the next topic will share the tips and ideas to select the right domain name that fits your brand and chosen niche. Get a .com extension. There is a range of new extensions available today in multiple niches. For instance, this includes .mail, .store and even .life, as compared to the original .com, .org and .net extensions that were available at the early age of the Internet. While it might be enticing to create smart blog names with new extensions, the .com domain name extension is the most recognized, credible, and established. Hence, if you are starting, get a .com domain name. Keep a domain name short. While you may think that keywords are significant for SEO, don't go crazy stuffing keywords that increase domain name length. Also, do take note that keywords in the domain name are just one of the SEO factors used by search engines to rank your website. Therefore, it is safer to have a brief and unforgettable domain name, which is less than 20 characters, as this makes it easier for the customers to recall and pronounce. Make it brandable and unique. Brandable, which means it looks and represents the niche market you've chosen when you or your customer hears or sees the domain name. If we were to develop, for instance, an e-commerce website platform, a brandable domain name example would be Shopify.com or WooCommerce.com. These domain names have the attributes of being short, attractive, and easy to recall. Also, please refrain from adding hyphens and numbers to your chosen domain name, as it does not sound like a professional brand. This also poses a challenge to customers when remembering and typing it in the browser address bar. Furthermore, it will sound too generic or weird. Next, your domain name must be unique in order for you to stand out in the eyes of your followers and customers. You can do this by researching other domain names in your niche and determine which domain names you can use to differentiate yourself from the crowd. Avoid trademark infringement. If you believe your domain name could confuse or infringe on trademarks and patents, then you better pay attention to this topic. Aside from the potential market confusion regarding the brand, it could also have significant legal ramifications that could cost you a lot of money. Before buying a domain name, seek to figure out if a registered entity of the same name already exists. You should look for a patent to see if the trademark has a similar or exact name from www.usto.gov. You can also search and view the names on search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing, other top platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. As a final note on this topic, if you have genuine concerns and questions regarding this matter, you can consult with a legal expert. Act quickly before someone grabs your chosen domain name. Once you've determined and decided about the domain name you want, then you should buy the domain name. This is because domain names are like real estate properties where thousands of consumers are constantly searching for cheaper deals which they could sell in the future, just like sumo.com, which sold for $1.5 million. As a result of such opportunities, thousands of new domain names from all parts of the world are registered every day. Don't wait too long if you've identified the domain name you want, since domain names are relatively inexpensive, and so our viewers always advocate acting fast. And if you change your mind later, you can actually let it expire. That's it for this video. I hope you had some value and insights into what a domain name is and how to choose the perfect domain name in the best way possible. If you learned something new from this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos uploaded. And, if you want to access more resources related to topics on this channel, you can visit www.thelifestylefreedom.com. Lastly, which concept from this video are you going to try first or focus on your marketing or business? Let me know by leaving a comment.